Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Build It, Fix It. In this video, I will show you how to make some custom drum pads for any size drum set. Most of the time, our projects will save you some money compared to what you can buy online or in the store. But in this case, it comes out to be just about even. The only difference here is that you can create something that is specific to you and hopefully is an extension of your personal voice. For this project, the materials that you're going to need are a 6mm thick yoga mat. I picked mine up at Target, but you can get yours at Walmart, anywhere, offline. As long as 6mm, that's a pretty good thickness. Either some thread and a pencil or a compass, depending on the method that you're going to be using. We'll cover both of them. An X-Acto knife. It's preferred that you have a cutting mat, but you could also use a cutting board as well. Just make sure to don't be doing this stuff on top of a table or something that you don't want completely shredded. Some spray-on adhesive that you can get from Home Depot. Any old shirts or fabric that you want to put on top of the drum pad. And then you're also going to need to know what sizes your drums are. So the first step is going to be cutting your mat out, and we're going to cover the string method first. This is the first method that I did because I didn't have a compass. So if you don't want to purchase a compass, you can use this method to draw your circles, and they're kind of accurate. Here, I am measuring the length of the string to be half of the size of the drum. In this case, it was for a 14-inch snare drum, so I'm measuring out 7 inches. Now, I'm an idiot, and I only measured out 6 inches, so don't do that. Start from 0, not 1. On one end of the string, I have attached a toothpick. This is going to be a pivot point that I can hold steady while I'm drawing the circle. On the other end, I've attached a pencil. Since the pencil doesn't show up well on the mat, I am first going to trace it onto my daughter's butcher paper that we have for her art supplies. One downside to this method is that you have to keep the pencil super straight the entire time you're going around the circle. If you move the back end of it away or towards the toothpick at all, it's going to make your circle uneven. I was definitely not as skilled at this, so my circles came out less than perfect. I would really suggest practicing a little before you go in and cut your template out. After I finished the paper templates, I used adhesive spray glue to attach them to the mats. At this point, I traced around the template with an X-Acto knife, and it cut right through. If you're going to go ahead and invest a little bit, I went and bought a compass after seeing how not round my mats were, and it only cost like $12. So I'm going to put the link in the description down below. I would highly recommend this. It was super inexpensive and cut my work time in half. It works the same way as the string method, as you can see here, only way more accurate and faster. Since the end of the compass was sharp, I was able to score the yoga mat, leaving a clear line that I could cut with the X-Acto knife. This prevented me from having to make any templates. For the cymbals, I traced out a circle that was the size printed on the cymbal. In this case, they were both 16 inches. After that, I traced out a 4-inch circle from the center of my larger circle. I then made a triangle that went from the center of my circle out to the edge. The idea here is that we want to create a triangle that looks like it has a circle at the top and a curve at the bottom. After transferring my template to the mat, I had to drill a hole in the center of the small circle so that it would attach to the cymbal stand. For this, I used a 3/8 inch drill bit. If you don't have a power drill, you can use a knife, but please be careful. It is really easy to cut yourself using a knife to make a hole in these rubber mats, so look out for that. I only made mutes for the crash cymbals because for the ride cymbals, I decided to use cymbal mutes. This way, I can work on my jazz ride speed and feel without playing onto a rubber pad, which in turn might cause damage to my arm. You can purchase these online. I got mine from Minel. I will throw a link for them below here so you can check it out. To add some flair, I had my wife purchase some needle minders off of Etsy. They already have a magnet attached, so I just use the rubber Minel magnets for the backside. The last step here is going to be adding the fabric. We want to make sure to take our pad and rest them on the table so that the end of the pad curls down. Since the mats are shipped, tied up in a cylinder, they're going to curl once you cut down the surface area because there's going to be less weight pushing down. I thought I would be able to put some weight on top of the pads and let them sit for about 24 hours to stop them from curling, but it didn't help at all. With the pad curling down, it's going to stay on the drum a whole lot better. As you can see here, I wasn't doing it on the correct side, but you definitely will. With the pad curling down, spray the top with the adhesive and then lay the fabric over it. Smooth it out as best you can and then flip it over. Trace around the pad with the X-Acto knife as you slightly pull on the fabric so that it's tight. Please do not ever have your thumb in the cutting path. It is super easy to cut yourself, and you don't want to be out from practicing for a couple weeks. Now, the last part of this is the bass drum. You could make a large pad for the bass drum and hang it, but I just didn't really feel that because I didn't want any distance between the pad itself and the drum. So I took some of those Velcro command strips and attached one side to my bass drum head and the other side to the back of the pad. The pad itself is only slightly larger than the beater area. You could, again, make it larger, but I didn't really see that as necessary. It takes a lot of the resonance away, but the attack is still there. By far, this was the least effective pad on the kit. I think the best way to maybe hit that bass drum is to just shove a ton of blankets on the inside. After that, go ahead, you're good to go. Have fun and be safe out there.